What is going on, YouTube? Let me get my levels right here. Turn this up a little bit. Yeah, that's better. And let me get the camera back on me. Cheers. Happy Friday. Little Jack and Coke tonight. Very basic. Did a little bit of volunteering earlier. That's why I'm late to the show. Welcome to KO Bets. My name is Bill. Yeah, late night show. I think it's kind of fun though. Some of my best streams have been like at crazy hours of the night when, you know, people, they're just bored, looking for something to watch, looking for some bets to place tomorrow. What do we got on the itinerary? Do you like that background? That's Zuckerberg, because as we know, Zuckerberg has rented out the UFC Apex Arena or something. We'll get into that at the end under trending topics. We'll talk about that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just thinking about this. We got a recap a couple weeks ago. We haven't been on for a couple weeks for UFC. We've got the UFC Dern and Jan picks to do, parlay ideas. Let's start with the NFT giveaway. We're currently, let me double check this. Let me just double check this real quick. Ooh, we're close. We're at 47 subscribers. So we can maybe get there while we're on this stream, but as soon as I hit 50 subscribers, I'm going to give away a UFC strike moment. I'm still waiting for some. I accidentally, I have 2 Gmail accounts just to manage, this, keep it partitioned from just personal stuff. So I made like a Gmail account for it. That's the email that, it's probably in the description of the video. But yeah, I accidentally purchased some on the wrong account. It got all locked up. Dapper Labs says they're going to consolidate the accounts for me to this main account. But yeah, I want to give away one of these moments, a UFC strike moment. It'll probably be a duplicate. We just saw Gregory Rodriguez with that nasty cut. I could do that. I could do Alex Oliveira. I swear, in my other account, I'm going to get 2 Chris Barnett moments. We have Molly McCann. There's some pretty good ones. So I'm looking forward to when we give that away. I'm going to adjust this a little. It's kind of bright. Last week, we had UFC Fight Night. Sandhagen against Song Yedong. Yeah, so we had a really good, fight. We took Mata. I don't want to just go fight by fight through this, but Lukbunmi, Basharat, those were parlay pieces. I had Pat Sabatini as a parlay piece, and Damon Jackson was an inspired performance. It was really, he hurt Pat, then ended up getting the knockout finish. It was pretty impressive. So that was a great fight. We took Rodrigo Nascimento as the underdog. That was a great fight. Pfeiffer making his UFC debut, looked terrific. Algio, that was tough, but went with Algio. Like the pick still. I didn't bet too much. Maybe I had it in the round robin. But I went with Chidi for the KO. Looked like he was going to get it because, back to back, some of the nastiest cuts we've ever seen. And then Sandhagen in the main. So that was really good. So we've got UFC Fight Night. Mackenzie Dern taking on Jan. And I'm not going to really even try to pronounce her first name, but it should be a pretty decent card. It starts off with Guido Canetti taking on Randy Costa. Guido Canetti 9-7, Randy Costa 6-3 professionally. If we're looking at the resume, Canetti's on a one-fight win streak, just knocked out Chris Moitino. He's got good power. He's on the older side. He's 42 years old. Randy Costa on the opposite side. He's looks super talented. Just kind of got to see him put it together and just be a little bit more consistent. He's 2-3 in the UFC. I think he's going to have a distinct stand-up advantage in this fight, so as long as he can avoid the ground, he should be in pretty good shape to probably win, I would think. If he's keeping it standing, Guido Canetti, he is hittable. He's definitely hittable. Randy Costa looks super hittable, though, too. I'm going to roll with Randy Costa to get probably an inside the distance finish. I'm betting, Costa's the heavy favorite, but I'm guessing the odds makers, they do not like this one to go the distance at -500. I don't really blame them. Can we do the knockout? Is there any value on knockout? Not really. -330. I think Guido Canetti's probably live to get a knockout finish. Like, just based on the odds here, I'm maybe putting the Costa KO into a round robin, but probably staying away from this fight from a money line perspective or betting inside the distance. I like that pick, but at -500, that's brutal. -330 for the knockout, that's tough too. I guess the over-under it's 1.5. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough fight to predict. I'm gonna go with the early Randy Costa finish, but probably gonna stay away from that one as an individual bet. I can exit that now. The next fight, we've got Julija. I don't know if it's Julia or Julija. It's not how you spell Julia, but maybe it's how you spell it. Where Julia's in Lithuania, Stoliarenko. She's taking on Chelsea Chandler. Julia Stoliarenko, what has she done? So she's on a one fight. Oh, she armbarred Jessica Rose Clark, her last fight. Her 3 fights previously, she lost. One of those she lost via submission. The good news is she's facing Chelsea Chandler, who's fights out of Cesar Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. So more of a grappler. If you look at her brief fight history, let's go to this. I thought I was on this page already. If you look at her brief professional history, she does have a knockout and submission win. I expect this fight to more than likely hit the ground, and I think that's where Julia's just going to be maybe a little bit better than Chelsea Chandler. We've seen Julia struggle with a specific type of fighter. I think as long as this one plays out on the ground, I could see Julia Stoliarenko winning this, maybe getting the submission win against Chelsea Chandler, making her debut. If we're looking at the odds, Julia Stoliarenko is the slight favorite. I would say, if it's I think whoever's sticking takedowns is going to win this. If they think one person isn't going to get a submission, I don't know. Maybe there's some value on that submission finish by either fighter. Let's see the fight props. They do like it to go the distance. Let's pick them, The submission is plus 225. That seems kind of interesting to sprinkle. So they don't like Chelsea Chandler to win via submission. Who did Julia get? Submitted by. Julia Avila? Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Stolyarenko. I think she could get a submission win. I don't really see why not, unless we're gonna say like the jiu-jitsu's gonna negate each other. It's just gonna be a wrestling match, and whoever has control wins. In that case, I'm gonna roll with Julia. Just hopefully drilling some takedowns, getting the fight to the mat. Next fight we've got is Maxim Grishin taking on Philip Lins. I like Maxim Grishin in this fight. He's on a 1-fight win streak. Philip Lins 1-2 in the UFC. If he's not able to drill takedowns and secure takedowns, I don't really see how he can win fights in the UFC. Very, very hittable. Has fought some good strikers, you know. The debut wasn't good. It was against Andrei Arlovsky. It wasn't good. Then he ends up getting KO'd by Tanner Boser. Whatever. Gets the unanimous decision against Marcin Prachnio. But I think he had a bunch of takedowns in that fight. Then he's taken on Maxim Grishin, who, you know, doesn't have the best takedown defense, but Philip Lins is pretty inefficient with this takedown. So I think Maxim Grishin's going to be the better stand-up fighter. I think Philip Lins his only hope is to secure takedowns and win. I think if you like Philip Lins, you got to like a decision. Maybe submission, but I would say a decision, because I think his path to victory is just securing those takedowns, maybe getting some short punches in, you know, ground and pound. But yeah, I really don't like his chances against Maxim Grishin. I'm rolling with Maxim on this fight. I would say, let's check out his win buys. 16 knockout finishes, 10 decisions. Philip Lins, he's got 4 knockout losses. I mean, we've seen him get tired before. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Maxim Grishin. I don't know if I'd be willing to make a prediction in any sort of round robin or parlay. That doesn't seem smart. But I would say a decision. Like that's probably the most likely outcome. Maxim Grishin, just kind of box him up. But that knockout maybe has some value, plus 300 as opposed to plus 140. Vegas does like this to go the distance, so maybe I'm leaning a little bit more towards that. Like there's value on that Maxim Grishin knockout, minus 165 for the knockout and decision. So yeah, I'm probably just taking money line in some sort of round robin pick. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna say like that's probably not a fight. I was getting a call. I don't know who that was. The next fight we've got is Krzysztof Jotko taking on Brendan Allen. In this fight, I think Krzysztof Jotko, I think this is a good fight. Sorry, I want to go to the UFC page. I got distracted by the phone call. It's just late at night to be getting a phone call. So Krzysztof Jotko, 24-5, taking on Brendan Allen, 19-5. Jotko is a very, I think, like just smart fighter, high IQ. I think Brendan Allen is arguably a little more talented, in my opinion. Just like a little more gifted, genetically gifted. If we're looking at their UFC careers, their professional careers, Jotko, he's on a 2-fight win streak. So is Brendan Allen. Things I like about Brendan Allen: good output, solid jiu-jitsu, solid ground game. We have seen him kind of get stuck on his back a couple times, but really solid skill set. But I like a lot of things about Krzysztof Jotko. Heading into this fight, I think he's just very technically sound, great game planner, high IQ fighter. The dude's 17-2 in decision, so even if Brendan Allen, I see this fight heading to a decision. I think if anyone finishes it, maybe it's Brendan Allen, but I see it heading to a decision, and just with that 17-2 record, I really like Jotko. I think he might have, an okay advantage in some area of this fight, and I think that's going to be standing. I think he's just going to be a little more efficient. But yeah, it's a tough fight, and I would say a decision. I mean, maybe that's what I'm most confident in betting if I'm looking to put any sort of bet from this fight into a round robin. Let's see. Oh, I have it pulled up. Jotko, slight favorite, -125. Brendan Allen, slight underdog. I mean, it is like a pick'em. It is like a pick'em, I think. The odds makers do like this one to go the distance at -165. Yeah, I think whoever you like, a decision is a good bet. I think if anyone gets the finish, I think Brendan Allen's more live for that. But good fight. Good fight. Next, we've got Joaquim Silva taking on Jesse Ronson. Joaquim Silva, he's on a 2-fight losing streak. Powerful, good jiu-jitsu. Kind of has absorbed a lot of strikes in his first fight and just has been a little bit inefficient on the feet thus far. I'd like to maybe see him take a grappling approach heading into this. Jesse Ronson, he's 0-1 in the UFC. Did have the no contest overturned versus Dalby, but yeah, I think with the solid game plan, I think Joaquim Silva can definitely win this fight. He is a powerful guy. Good knockout rate from both of these guys. I think it is. I think maybe Silva could have that. He just doesn't grapple. He doesn't go for it. He really doesn't go for the takedowns. But I think if it turns to a decision, like that could be the deciding factor, whoever's able to get a takedown in this fight. I'm going to roll with Joaquim Silva. I guess to hurt Jesse, and I don't know how quickly I see him doing that, but I guess I'm going to go with that knockout for Silva. Silva is the favorite, -145. Yeah, odds makers don't like this one to go the distance. The KO's live. So they like, I guess if you're a strong puncher, round one's always a possibility. Yeah, I would say Joaquim Silva in this fight. I'll take him on the money line. Maybe throw him in a round robin. If you don't already, you can Let me pull up my face here. You can follow my Twitter, and it's gonna go down here then. I'll post my picks always on Twitter. Next fight we've got is Ilir Latifi taking on Aleksei Oleinik. I mean, Latifi, wrestler, just kind of a weird body type for the heavyweight division, like definitely on the shorter side, but we've seen fighters like that have some success, and Latifi has, it's been pretty good. He's a wrestler. Aleksei Oleinik, obviously terrific jiu-jitsu, that grappling, however many submissions he has, it's just crazy. 47 submissions. What is this? 77 professional fights. I mean, I know some of it's not. Well, it's still a fight, but some of it might have been a little bit easy. Oleinik, terrific jiu-jitsu artist. I think this is just a bad matchup for Latifi. Maybe Latifi's able to really piece him apart on the feet and hurt Aleksei Oleinik. I mean, I guess that's possible and feasible. But I like the frame of Aleksei Oleinik. I like the fact that he is just outstanding at submitting people. We've seen him do it off his back. I think he might have done that. Was that his fight against Vandera? He did it off the back, that front choke. However he did it, I don't know. It was just, it was ridiculous. The dude's ridiculous. I think this fight's a bad matchup for Latifi. I'm gonna go with Aleksei. It's not a good. I mean, it's a sketchy fight for sure to bet on. In my opinion, it is sketchy. It's sketchy. I would say the fight does not go the distance. No. Winning method, they like the Latifi KO. I mean, the dude punches hard. There's no doubt about it. But give me the Oleinik submission plus 275 all day. That's what I think. I think Latifi decision has better value than the KO. I mean, have we seen Aleksei make it to a decision any? Yeah, okay, against Spivak, it was a decision. Verdum, decision. So, I think we could be okay. We could be okay. I think the decision has value for Latifi, but I like the Aleksei submission in this fight. If you're looking at the losses of Latifi, he's got 0 submission losses. Oh, that's interesting. But he hasn't really, I mean, Oleinik's another level, He hasn't really faced someone like Oleinik yet. Just kind of one of a kind. Next fight we've got is, so that concludes the prelims. Very well. The next fight we got is Mike Davis taking on Vyacheslav Borshev. Mike Davis 9-2 professionally. Borshev 6-2. Davis 2-1 in the UFC. His loss though, Gilbert Burns. How crazy. Borshev 6-2, 1-1 in the UFC. His loss was to Diakese. So two really high caliber fighters these guys have lost to. I mean, no question, Burns is better, but Diakese had 11 takedowns against Borshev. If Borshev, I mean, that's the path to victory if you're Mike Davis and you want to show that you're well-rounded. Mike Davis, he's a solid fighter. I don't really think I think he's got way more knockouts than submissions. Yeah, I don't know how often we see this dude take people down. Does have one submission win. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see him take down Borshev. If this ends up being a boxing match, Borshev could definitely win the fight on the feet. I mean, he's entertaining. I would like to see him do the dance after, but I think Mike Davis is the smart bet in this one, simply because he's going to have that takedown in his back pocket, and even if Borshev is super dangerous on the feet, I think Mike Davis is also dangerous, and I'm thinking a finish in this fight. I think this one ends inside the distance. We're rolling with Mike Davis, who is the favorite, minus 190. I can't bet on the money line on this. I think Borshev is probably live for that KO. Odds makers don't like it to go the distance. Yeah, you gotta like the Borshev KO. I think you gotta like that Mike Davis KO. Yeah. So it'll be, man, kind of psyching myself out of it. Like, Borshev is an extremely good boxer. Like, part of me is kind of leaning just to bet the knockout at minus 105 in like a round robin or something like that, just in the event that Borshev does score the knockout. I guess you're a little bit hedged. If it's a decision, if it's or a submission, you're losing the bet no matter what. But yeah, I think I'm gonna roll with maybe that pick as far as a round robin pick, but we'll roll with Mike Davis on the money line. The next fight we've got is John Castaneda taking on Daniel Santos. John Castaneda, 2-fight win streak. Just a super tough fighter, really well-rounded game. Daniel Santos, he's 0-1 in the UFC. Lost a tough fight to Julio Arce. He trains with Charles Oliveira. His jiu-jitsu's good. That's kind of where he's best, in my opinion. I think the path to victory for him in this fight is getting this thing to the mat. I think he can do it against John Castaneda. I don't think the intelligent thing is to... I don't think he should really try and stand in exchange with Castaneda too much. Castaneda's the favorite. Okay. Minus 195. I mean, if Santos gets it to the mat, I think, again, like Aleski, he's just going to be super dangerous on the mat. But Castaneda, that makes a lot of sense. John Castaneda being the favorite. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm interested in betting this one. He's minus 190. Yeah, I mean, if it's a decision, I like Castaneda. He's tough, has decent output. What happened to Santos and what did we say his debut was? Was Arce? I mean, that's kind of a tough fight. For sure. But let's see what happened in that fight. I made a pick for it. I just can't remember it. So just got outstruck in that fight really badly. It looks like every round, 39-17, 41-18, 47-14. Kept getting that takedown stuffed. How's Castanada's takedown defense? 63%, 0% takedown accuracy for Daniel Santos. Yeah, if he's not able to sink in any takedowns, we'll roll with John Castaneda. I guess we'll do decision for John Castaneda. The odds makers like this one to go the distance. I mean, both fighters are very tough. I don't really see Castaneda getting knocked out. But I mean, we'll see how Daniel Santos holds up this fight. I think I like John Castaneda. I don't know. What's wrong with inside the distance on this? Like, win buys. Majority of 5 out of his 8 wins are inside the distance. His 2 losses are decisions. Okay, so maybe it speaks to their toughness. Like, this one's just going to the distance. We've got 6 submission wins, 8 knockout wins. You know, I don't know, 14 out of his 19 inside the distance. It's tough. It's tough, but we're gonna go with John Castaneda money line. Sadiq Youssef taking on Don Shainis. Sadiq Youssef is on a 1-fight winning streak. You know, elite striker. Really, really good striking. Only loss was to Arnold Allen, where he just kind of got outclassed a little bit and grappled. Don Shainis, I don't see him wrestling in this fight. He's a big-time puncher in his own right, good striker. 8 KO wins, 2 submission wins. I just think coming off of 3 knockouts in a row, he's going to be ready to stand and strike with Sadiq Youssef. And I think that's going to play into Sadiq's favor big time. So we'll go with Sadiq. Money line for sure. I would say possibly the knockout. Like, why? Both fighters have a really, really high knockout rate if we're looking at the win by. Both fighters have won a lot of fights via knockout. Let's see the odds. They don't like it to go the distance. Winning method, KO. Don Shainis KO plus 600. What about just the KO straight up? Minus 200. They're not giving Don a chance. Minus 1,050? Sometimes they have like most knockdowns too. If you're betting a knockout, might as well do the most knockdowns. I mean, obviously it could get ruined, but I just like the chance of Don Shainis money submission. That's crazy. But there's a bet for you that reduces the odds. You know, put yourself in a position where you're just like risking less. Maybe winning at, you know, just risking less. You don't want to be going all in on. I mean, I think Sadiq's going to win it pretty easily, but you don't want to go all in ever on a UFC fight. Next fight we've got is Raoni Barcelos taking on Trevin Jones. Barcelos is on a 2-fight losing streak, and so is Trevin Jones. Yeah, I'd have to give Raoni Barcelos the edge on the feet. I mean, we've just seen a little bit more from, I think, Barcelos. He's been around longer for sure in the UFC, right? Yeah, came in, great wins. Saeed, Gutierrez isn't great. Just on this 2-fight losing skid now. I mean, Basharat is great. We just saw him fight a couple weeks ago. Like, he's really good, and his brother's good too. Yeah, I don't know why. I think I like Raoni Barcelos a lot in this fight. I wonder if he's the favorite. He is, minus 230. And it's just like comes down to we haven't seen a whole lot from Trevin Jones in the UFC. What is he in the UFC? He's 1-2. Had the KO victory against Batista, a couple of submission wins and Impact, and yeah, let me get Raoni Barcelos in this. Yeah, I'll take Raoni Barcelos. As far as the winning method, I'm curious if the odds makers, so they to pick them for it to go the distance or not. I would say, yeah, I like the decision victory for Raoni Barcelos. If we're looking at his recent win buys, decision, did have a violent streak there. Trevin Jones, 0 knockout losses in his career. I kind of like the decision victory for Raoni Barcelos. Better output. Yeah. Let's go Raoni Barcelos. Money line. Randy Brown taking on Francisco Trinaldo. I'm a big Randy Brown fan. Rude boy. I think he's a really, really good fighter. He's taking on Francisco Trinaldo. What did they do recently? Trinaldo's on a 2-fight win streak. Possesses big-time power. Randy Brown, 3-fight win streak. Terrific frame for the division. You can see 78, that reach advantage, the height advantage, the leg reach advantage. But don't sleep on Francisco. He's knocking people out. Jai Herbert knocked out. That's another guy with he's got a different frame than Randy Brown. I think Randy Brown's a little stronger. But everyone looks kind of small next to Trinaldo. He's pretty thick. 5'9". He's like he's a little bit like Latifi, but not that bad. Little bit. Just like 50 pounds less and an inch shorter. Possesses great power, but I like Randy Brown in this. I really like Randy Brown. Fan of his style, fan of his skill. Great striker. I think this fight's going to play out on the feet. Randy Brown's minus 320. I would say, yeah, the fight goes the distance. If we're looking at the win by, you can see a lot of decision victories. So maybe let's look at the decision records, right? 2 knockout losses. Luque, Nico Price. Trinaldo does possess that power for sure. 14-5 decisions for Trinaldo. And for Randy Brown, he's 4-1. What the hell? Why do they have his win by with 82% decision victories? That's like in the UFC, yeah? Right? Not even. What? Okay. Are we thinking this ends inside the distance? Is that what Vegas likes? I think the smart path to victory for Randy Brown is just to point strike with Trinaldo. Stick on the outside. If he does get him hurt, great. But, don't get in the pocket with him and let him start swinging his crazy power around. Trinaldo, I think if you like him, why not go knockout? And then, yeah, I guess we'll go Randy Brown decision. Randy Brown, I would probably... Is that risky at minus 320 to make him a parlay piece? Maybe a little bit risky. I don't know what you think. Maybe a little risky, though. I don't know, though. I kind of like Randy Brown. And then, we could do the main event. We could do... like that. Get a little bit better odds. I guess I'll go Randy Brown money line, Randy Brown decision. So the over. The next fight we've got is Mackenzie Dern taking on Xiaonin Yan. Mackenzie Dern, 1-fight win streak, great jiu-jitsu. Should look to grapple in this fight. Yan, 2-fight losing streak, solid stand-up, has to fend off the takedown. Got beat up really bad against Carla Esparza. I guess that was 2 fights ago. He's on that 2-fight skid right now. Mackenzie Dern, her path to victory has to be on the mat. I think it needs to be on the mat. If we're looking at the takedown defense of Yan, 65%. I think Dern's got to get it to the mat, right? Check out the fight history. How did the frames look? 5'4", 5'5", identical reach. Yeah, obviously a terrific grappler. So, yeah, I think I'm hoping for the Mackenzie Dern submission. Odds makers don't like it to go the distance, but that submission is minus 110. How about the lose buys for Yan? 1 submission loss. That was to... Oh, that was early in her career. Long time ago. But hasn't, exactly been the best against wrestling approaches. Carla Esparza... Hodge Rodriguez is more stand-up, but Esparza... So maybe look back to the Esparza fight, and that's the formula for Mackenzie Dern. Get some takedowns, controller in the octagon, look for the submissions, get out of there. Don't get hit. Get out of there. We got to put together a couple of parlay ideas, don't we? I think I really like Maxim Grisham. Let's just start here. I think I like Randy Costa. I think the Olenek thing is interesting because I think this should be closer to a pick'em. So that's an interesting one to me. I like Yusuf, but we're gonna have to find something else in there. I like Raoni Barcelos. I like Randy Brown. I like Mackenzie Dern. So those are, picks I could work with. I like doing some of the round robins on occasionally, where essentially you're just, you're parlaying out all outcomes. So this is, all 2 fight combinations. So Dern Brown, Dern Barcelos, Dern Yusuf, so on and so forth, and Brown Barcelos, Brown. So it's like there's 21 bets. You bet, a buck a line or whatever you're gonna do, and you can improve your odds that way. Obviously, if you lose fights, it doesn't ruin your entire parlay. You're kind of you're just being a little bit responsible with how you're divvying up your spendings. But let's refine this down a little bit. Here's one, plus 202. Okay. I mean, there's one. I'll post my picks tomorrow. I've been doing it every Saturday. Just look at my my Twitter down here. You can see where the mouse is. Look at my Twitter. I'll for sure be posting pics. Speaking of which, we got to get into trending topics. It was a late show. Appreciate you sticking with me. I was kind of doing the homework on the fly here, but I think we've made some good picks, solid picks. So, and then like I said, I'll post stuff tomorrow. So don't freak out too much. What's going on with Fidelity? Fidelity has marked Abe a penny stock. Yeah, I think it's more likely than not that there's a little more pain on the horizon. Let's go here to trending topics. Hocus Pocus 2 arrives on Disney Plus Friday. I didn't watch Hocus Pocus, but I know what it is. I just never watched it. Oh, cool. They're doing a debate in Texas. I don't know, is that pretty regular? Like I mean, they're very important. I'm obviously plan to vote on the in November. I think it's November 8th. But I didn't know if that was a normal thing or not for candidates to debate, like for governor, or so I think it's cool if they do. There should be answered questions. Let's see who else is trending. DeGrom. I mean, he's crazy good. We should probably make an MLB pick, right? I don't know. Some of these, like these, it's pretty lame. So sports, entertainment. Okay, here we go. Christian Bale's trending. Why is he trending? I've still got the figures from when I was little. Christian Bale wants to be in Star Wars. He's a good actor. Put him in it. Oh, let's do this real quick. Start, bench, cut. I think for next season, like, I'm going with Ja. I think going with Dame, and I think I'm getting rid of Trey, unfortunately. But that's tough. That's really tough. Quavo's trending. What did Quavo do? Nothing changed out. Now.
Don't nothing change but the change. We on your head like a bang. All double loss, no range. Big stain came with a name. Got all eyes on my game. 100,000 kiss the rain. Foreign exchange to change. Foreign exchange to change.
Cool. Paramore's Haley William and Taylor York reveal their dating. Okay. So they're in the same band together. I know Paramore, obviously. 1 second. I feel like this is weird. Why am I getting calls this hour? I don't know who that is. Anyways, back to trending topics. Yeah, I mean, good for Paramore. Good for Paramore. This plane could get you from London to New York in 80 minutes. Do you think that would be uncomfortable to, like, travel that fast? Why is it so fast? Spanish designer Oscar V has unveiled a super streamlined jet dubbed the Hypersting, set to take travelers from London to New York in less than an hour and a half. 2,500 miles per hour, Mach 3.5. Combination of theoretical cold fusion, nuclear systems, and what the fuck? Do we have like planes with nuclear system? Like, I'm probably just like looking into this way too much, and I don't understand what it means of like cold fusion nuclear systems. You just strap in like a nuke to this, you're blowing it up in a chamber, and then it's shooting out and propelling you forward like a normal combustion engine, but it's a nuke. I gotta learn more about this. It's also interesting, it's like a concept engine, right? Theoretical cold fusion. So it's theoretical, it's a concept plane. It was designed. Why does this get... Is this important? I think it's important, I guess, to reduce the time of travel. Like, that's useful, that's handy. I don't know, it just seems like we could... It's like, here's something I made up. Let's make an article about it. I have to read the article, I guess. Maybe it's cool. I gotta watch The Lord of the Rings. I've been Trying to keep up with that. Tory Lanez released a song. Should we listen to that since we did?
Shorty bag, gotta put her on a roll call. Hit a dance with a break up. When you get mad, you resort to breaking. But you know you went too far when you broke my PlayStation down.
Damn. She broke his PlayStation. Maybe. I like some of Tory Lane's stuff. What's going on with Phil Collins? Does he have new music? Oh, Tarzan was trending, so... Yeah, what a freaking crazy album. A new Tarzan film is in development at Sony. They're aiming to reinvent the character for the 21st century. Sauron is trending. Oh, I don't want to see this, I don't think. Sorry. Kid Cudi invented a new language with his daughter, and it's better than Pig Latin. So it says, he sends his daughter silly messages all the time, like sending voice notes of strange noises he makes for no reason. And from there, a super adorable secret language was born, where they essentially talk to each other in meep noises. He sent the first message of made-up language. She responded in kind. Now they have a hilarious way to communicate it. I sent meat poos, meat poopies, more poos. Kid said meaning like I shit my pants. Meat poos, meat poopies, more poops. More poops. More poos. Meep poop. I don't know what I'm reading. I don't know what I'm reading. Alright, NBA Youngboy's trending. To be honest, I don't want to listen to any more rap music. But we gotta give people the opportunity, I guess. The Baby's trending. How the Bear made the classic Chicagoland Italian beef in a nationwide... I don't know who the fuck the Bear is. Is it that show? The Bear did? Quavo, we already saw that. Betty Milder. Who's she? Midler? Oh, she's in Hocus Pocus. Sorry for What is trending. Alexander McQueen. Oh, jeez, my bad. Kalani's trending. The Munsters. Alright, anything else interesting? Alright, I think we're going to call it a night. I appreciate you tuning in. If you don't mind, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll do the NFT giveaway soon. We are approaching, we're approaching our goal. So we'll get there eventually. I appreciate you tuning in. If you watched, I know it was a late show. Hope you all have a good weekend. I'll see you Sunday morning. We've got our NFL Week 4 pick and prediction show. Just have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you for watching. Peace.